Hello, my students. How are you? Are you ready for our lesson today? Okay, let's go. Today, we will talk about an important lesson and grammar in English, which is connectors. Connectors. Okay? First, we need to know the definition, okay? And the meaning of connectors. What are connectors? In English, connectors are words we use to join sentences or ideas. Connectors are words we use to join sentences or ideas. Okay? The first connector we have is because. Because. Usually, we use the connector because to show cause or reason why something happens. Okay? It explains the reason why something happens. It is used to answer the question why. To understand more about this connector, let's see our examples. Okay? The first example we have, I didn't give up because I believed in myself. I didn't give up because I believed in myself. In this sentence, we have two actions. Okay? The first action is I didn't give up. I didn't give up. The second is I believed in myself. I believed in myself. We can note that there is a relation between the two sentences or the two actions. Okay? The relationship between these two sentences is a cause relationship or a reason relationship. Okay? So the second sentence happens, okay, as a reason for the first action I did in the first sentence. Okay? So I didn't give up because I believed in myself. The second sentence is a reason. Okay? The connector because answers the question why. I didn't give up. Why? Because I believed in myself. Okay, the second sentence or the second example, he loves painting because it is very colorful. Again, the connector because answers the question why. He loves painting. Why? Because it is very colorful. The last sentence or the last example, Rodina stayed home because she was unwell. So Rodina stayed home as a reason of being unwell. The second action or the second sentence is a reason why the first action happens. Why she stayed home? Because she was unwell. As a conclusion, we use the connector because to join two sentences. There is a cause relationship between them. Okay? The second connector we have is so. Okay? Also, the connector so join two sentences, okay, but this time there is a result or a consequence relationship between these two actions or these two sentences. Okay? Also, let's see our examples. When I say I worked hard, so I improved my skills. We have two actions. The first action, I worked hard. The second action, I improved my skills. We can note that the second sentence or the second action, I improved my skills, is a result or a consequence of my hard work. So the second sentence is a consequence or a result for the first action I did in the first sentence. We use the connector so to join two sentences. There is a result relationship between them. The second example, I was hungry, so I made a sandwich. I was hungry, so I made a sandwich. Again, I made a sandwich as a result of being hungry. Okay, so we use the connector so to join two sentences. There is a result or a consequence relationship between these two sentences or these two actions. The last connector we have is but. but usually is used to connect two contrasting or two opposite sentences or ideas or actions. Okay? Okay. When I say I was tired, but I kept trying. I was tired is the first action I did. I was tired. The second action, I kept trying. I kept trying. There is a relationship between these two actions. Between these two actions. The relation is contrast or opposite. Okay? I was tired is opposite, okay, or a contrast to I kept trying. When we have a sentence or when we have two actions, there's a contrast relationship between them. We use the connector but. We use the connector but. Okay? As a note, usually comes in the middle of the sentence, often with a comma before it. So before the connector but, we use a comma. But the connector but usually comes in the middle of the sentence. Okay? Okay.